I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. This is insane. Hold on, guys. We got some crazy news going on right now. A judge is threatening to jail Donald Trump if he goes to his son's graduation. What the heck is going on? Why don't we just dive into this, see what it's all about, all right? Let's check it out.
Making fun of me, I'll put you in jail.
Lay down right here. Do it. Do it.
What? What movie is that?
What's up, guys? Boy Benny. In case you wonder if you're on the good side or the bad side, it's the bad side that would stop a father from going to his young son's high school graduation, and that's exactly what these complete lunatics and monsters, depraved demons in New York are doing to Donald Trump. The judge in Donald Trump's trial has not only threatened his arrest if he disrupts the trial or if he misses any days of the trial. I've never heard of anything like that. But now he's also threatening to stop Trump from attending Barron Trump's high school graduation. This is going to backfire huge. American people are sick of this Marxist tyranny. Judge Mershon, Democrat activist, warns of arrest if Trump disrupts or skips hush money trial. In case you're wondering if the entire system has been turned on Trump, here it is. New York Judge Juan Mershon on Monday warned former President Donald Trump that he could be arrested if he disrupts the proceedings or skips the trial. Okay. Prosecutors claim Trump violated his gag order. Trump faces 34 felony charges for allegedly falsifying business documents stemming from a hush money payment to former adult film star Stormy Daniels, which she denied, which Trump denied, which everyone has denied. And so now they're going to stop Donald Trump from going to his son's high school graduation. Barron won't forget this, and neither will we.
The thing about this case in particular, it seems like they are doing whatever it takes just to stop this man. And they don't care if it's unlawful, goes against the Constitution. They're just going to attack this man until he begs for mercy. And I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm not going to run for president. That's what they want out of him. And Donald Trump's personality, he is not going to stop until justice is served.
Of course, the judge is a Democrat activist. His family are Democrat activists. The judge donated to Joe Biden. His daughter worked for Kamala Harris. So what else do you need to see? Donald Trump outside of the courthouse talking about what he's going to do, saying that the judge had better put me in jail, right? I say Donald Trump should call his bluff. Go to Barron's graduation. He doesn't have the balls to put him in jail. Put Trump in jail. Do it. Do it. This is what Donald Trump had to say outside of the trial when he got the one rare chance to speak to the media today.
So thank you very much. We had some amazing things happen today. As you know, my son has graduated from high school, and it looks like the judge will not let me go to the graduation of my son, who's worked very, very hard. He's a great student, and he's very proud of the fact that he did so well, and was looking forward for years to have graduation with his mother and father there. And it looks like the judge isn't going to allow me to escape this scam. It's a scam trial. If you read all of the legal pundits, all of the legal scholars today, there's not one that I see that said this is a case that should be brought or tried. It's a scam. It's a political witch hunt. It continues, and it continues forever. And we're not going to be given a fair trial. It's a very, very sad thing. In addition, as you know, next Thursday, we're before the United States Supreme Court on a very big hearing on immunity. And this is something that we've been waiting for a long time. And he's not going to allow us to go to that. He won't allow me to leave here for a half a day, go to D.C. and go before the United States Supreme Court because he thinks he's superior, I guess, to the Supreme Court. And we got a real problem with this judge. We have a real problem with a lot of things having to do with this trial, including the DA, because you go right outside and people are being mugged and killed all day long, and he's sitting here all day with about 10 or 12 prosecutors over nothing. Over nothing. Over what people say shouldn't be a trial. So I just want to thank you very much, but that I can't go to my son's graduation, or that I can't go to the United States Supreme Court, that I'm not in Georgia or Florida or North Carolina campaigning like I should be. It's perfect for the radical left Democrats. That's exactly what they want. This is about election interference. That's all it's about. Thank you very much.
I hate to talk in extremes, but I feel like I have to in this regard. I don't think that these judges are out for justice. They are out for humiliation. They want this man to suffer in front of everyone, the entire world. They just want to embarrass him. Because it's clear as day. There's crime going on in the streets anywhere you look in any major city in the United States. Yet they are nitpicking this man's life with a fine-tooth comb, looking for anything that they could scrape in front of a judge. So I don't think justice is being served in New York. Absolutely not. They're out for humiliation. He's not going to stand.
Donald Trump's chief political advisor, Jason Miller, saying what a disgusting thing the Biden trial has become. Not even letting the president attend his son's high school graduation. Nothing but a political attack. He's going to miss Barron's graduation. Barron will be less forgiving than his father. Barron Trump is 8 feet tall, ladies and gentlemen. Eric Trump saying Juan Merchant is truly heartless for not letting a father attend his son's graduation. That is a fact. This has been really, really fascinating day for takes, including a guy named Jonathan Turley, who's a legal advisor on Fox, who does a great job, and he really broke down what this trial is and the insanity of it. We looked into it ourselves. It's wild. Watch.
Is this one in court?
Well, there's a novel question, John. I'm not sure. I mean, this is a Frankenstein case. They took a dead misdemeanor, they attached it to a dead alleged federal felony and zapped it back into life. So many of us are just amazed to watch this actually walk into court, because it's not a recognizable crime that any of us have seen. It does not appear to be a federal crime, but that's the theory that Bragg is using. So to go into the Wayback Machine, this state misdemeanor died because of the statute of limitations. Then what Bragg said was, well, I'm going to allege that you did false filings on business records to hide a crime. But he was very ambiguous what that crime might be. He still is ambiguous. But it is assumed to be a federal election crime. The problem is the federal government doesn't view it as a crime. They decided not to prosecute, and most election experts say that this is the type of thing that's failed in the past. So this bizarre indictment is now going to be an equally bizarre trial. And to this day, there's some confusion as to Bragg's actual theory as to what was the exact crime that Trump was hiding from all this.
All right. This is what the Wall Street Journal said about Bragg trying to bootstrap this up to a federal felony. He said, quote, 7 months before the 2024 election, it's a trial that shouldn't happen in a case Mr. Bragg shouldn't have brought. The Stormy affair was sordid business, but the DA's argument is a legal stretch in ways that might bother a skeptical juror or an appeals court. So they're in jury selection for probably the next couple of weeks or so. Will the prosecution find jurors that are favorable to its case, or do you think jurors have already made up their mind?
You're not going to find many reasonable people who are going to hear out things. A lot of people nowadays have made up their mind. They either like Trump a lot or they despise him. So you're not going to really find an impartial juror. So I don't know what they're going to do. Like, what on earth could you possibly do? But I feel like too many people nowadays don't care about policy at all. They just follow things blindly. Just believe whatever they're told to believe. So I don't know if they're going to be able to find any potential jurors that are not biased.
Well, look, this is the worst jury pool that Trump could pull unless you just took everyone at the DNC headquarters. I mean, it is as bad a pool as you can get. Now, that doesn't mean that they throw up their hands. They're not going to try to find someone who likes Trump. That's just, there's not many people available that fit that description in Manhattan. What they're looking for is someone who is independent, maybe a little feisty. You're going to have jury advisors there, looking for people that have great conviction and confidence. They may dislike Trump, but you want people who like the law more. And that's what you're really looking for. You're also looking for what I call a Trojan juror. These are jurors who will lie to get into a high-profile case, and they'll be hiding within them bias and past conduct that they won't reveal. That you can often find out through social media. So there's a lot of work that's going to have to be.
Also, to be noted, we had Donald Trump's attorney on our program earlier today, Alina Habba, and she had this to say about the trial and the ongoing proceedings. Donald Trump has said on Truth Social he'd be happy to run for president from prison, and he thinks it'd make him Nelson Mandela.
He should.
And I wonder what your thoughts are on that.
He's told me that. Yeah, he's told me that. He said it's like Nelson Mandela. He's not wrong. The one time he said it to me actually was I was in court, and I remember him saying the same thing. And he says that, and he means it. I think he is the victim of political prosecution, and selective prosecution is what we call it legally. And that's when you target somebody because you don't like what they stand for, or you target them because they're your opponent in some regard or a threat to you. And that is what is happening. How can you say it's not? The fact that this particular case was not brought, Benny, and then he decides to run and they bring it. There's a book of a prosecutor who worked in a firm that works with the Clintons and the DNC. There is a book by that prosecutor who has left his law firm to go work for the DA just to bring this case. And when they wouldn't bring the case, when Cy Vance would not bring this case against President Trump, he quit in outrage, wrote a book, and said how angry he was because he wanted them to bring this case, but Michael Cohen was discredited. So then what happens? Bragg comes in, President Trump says, I'm running for office, and they bring the case, and they indict, and rush a trial for this month before November. I've had cases sitting in New York for 3 years that have not had motions heard. 3 years.
Wow.
No motions heard. But these cases somehow get fast-tracked. It's crazy.
What other options does Donald Trump have? I mean, the American way is that if you don't like a candidate, how about you let the American people decide whether they support the candidate or not? But the fact that they want to disqualify him by any means necessary, but even if he gets arrested, he could still run for president. So, they're leading him towards that direction. Almost like he runs for president and he's got to go to jail, or he doesn't run and they drop all the cases. That's what it looks like from the outside looking in. I don't know if that's true, but that's just from my perspective. That's what I'm seeing.
Over under on the jury pool here, because these juries are absolutely ratchet.
Ratchet.
Yeah, and I just don't have a lot of hope. And the reason why, no legal expert here, but we've just been covering OJ's death. And there were all these jurors in OJ's death that have now come forward. They're very old, and they're saying, no, we knew he killed everyone.
But they liked Al Sharpton or whoever it was.
Right, that's right. I mean, they're now admitting it. We just made sure he wouldn't go to jail because racism or something.
Juries
right?
Because
we just didn't care. We wanted to protect him and destroy this person's life, right? Protect this person and destroy this person's life. And if you're going to go to trial in New York, I mean, what are the chances of that with Trump?
You know what happened to me. So, the truth is these jurors are human beings. They have biases. And what was troubling in this case is that while we're doing jury selection starting today, one of the things that the judge here, Judge Merchan, would not allow us to ask was whether or not they voted for a Republican or a Democrat, whether or not they voted for President Trump, whether or not they work for the Biden administration. There's people that when I was doing the jury selection in the Carroll case, we're working currently for the Biden campaign. And I didn't want those people sitting on a jury for President Trump. And but you have the right to ask those questions. Now, this judge has eliminated many of those questions. You're not allowed to ask who they voted for. You can ask what news they watch. But I watch CNN and I watch Fox because I like to know what my opposition's saying. So it doesn't tell you what the status is. Now, when you're sitting with a president and a current nominee for the GOP, and you can't ask how you vote, you're shot in the foot right there. And you're in New York, which is a predominantly blue state. So, that hindrance in itself is problematic just from the get-go.
I just want to really pin, I know we're short of time, but I really want to pin this down. You're telling me that the judge would allow somebody who's actively working for Joe Biden's presidential campaign to be on this jury pool?
Well, that happened to me. I mean, of course. I had arguments with the judge about it and saying, I wanted this person out, and I got them off the jury pool, but it was tough. The judge said, well, if you, I will never forget it. If you'd have it your way, you'd have all Republicans. I said, well, if I'm his lawyer, of course. I mean, that's my job as a lawyer is to make sure that I get the absolute best jury pool I'm going to get. And by the way, don't think that the DA team isn't going to do the exact same thing.
She hit the nail on the head right there. You think these people don't want all Democrats on the jury? Of course they do. It's a witch hunt clear as day. Because if you actually had issue with what Trump did, you would have filed this before he decided to run for president. But no, let's wait, see what he does. Then we're going to play this card, and he's got no choice but to go through this lawfare. Because they are trying to find anything under the law that can stick to this man. It's like they're throwing anything, like, oh, maybe we'll try this. They don't know what they're doing. They are panicking because they know one thing. This man cannot be bought. He's a billionaire. He doesn't need this. He's doing this for one sole purpose, and that's to preserve this country, this nation, and run this country the way it should be ran. Not by politicians who don't have your best interests at heart, but by a man who knows how to get deals done, stimulate the economy, and he wants world peace. And if I'm Donald Trump, 100% I'm going to that graduation. There are just some things in life you don't want to miss, and these are evil, evil people trying to strip him from that experience. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below, and if you enjoyed, make sure to smash the like, comment, subscribe, and I wish you guys nothing but the best. Till next time.